I didn't know why this made news, but apparently people were talking about it on Twitter, and I watched the movie Enola Holmes. It was okay. I like anything that Henry Cavill is in because it feels as though it is very rare to get a person who is passionate about their work, who is professional, and a great actor. And Henry Cavill is that. So this article says that Millie Bobby Brown has shared some boundaries Henry Cavill set while filming together for Enola Holmes 2 and is causing a massive debate. And I'm so confused as to why this would cause a massive debate. The one thing I'm seeing is that people are being very understanding and also outraged that this should even be news that an adult is being appropriate with someone who was considered a child at the time of filming. On this post from X or Twitter, it says, Millie Bobby Brown says that when she worked with Henry Cavill, she was only 15 at the time and he wanted to keep their relationship strictly professional. In an interview, Millie explained that Cavill had terms and conditions, joking that whenever she tried to ask about his personal life, he would quickly shut it down with a simple, Millie, no. To which she replied, understood. She said she actually respected that a lot, describing him as someone who was naturally more private and reserved. For me personally, I love private and reserved people and men. That just, for me, I don't know if it's because, yes, my husband is one of them, but it also speaks to a sense of maturity. And even still, if you have people that, you're close with and you want to share things, I can completely understand that. But if you choose not to share, it shouldn't be newsworthy. Especially if it is a relationship between an adult man and a minor. Can we just say it? Because everybody's been saying it. Men get a really bad rap if they even freaking breathe. And there are a lot of horrible people out there that legitimately do these things. But there are men that have been accused of doing these things and they did nothing. I bet you if he did have a decent relationship with her that was still proper, she would somehow, I'm not saying she personally because I don't know the woman, can't really blame me for assuming because we've seen a lot of other stories where women have taken advantage of that to say, he did this to me, I want to be your friend, let me be your friend. Yeah, no thanks. Oh my God, I felt so attacked, and the fact that he said no ruined my sense of self and damaged my mental health, and because of that, he SA'd me. That's how I felt. Or even situations like, man, I'm thinking of ordering from some DoorDash. I'll make sure I put no contact, just leave it at the door, and I'm feeling kind of tired right now, so I'm gonna lie down. Oh my God, the door looks like it's open. Let me walk inside and start filming. Oh my God, there's a guy who's passed out on his couch with his pants down. Let me film it and disseminate it to the entire world, putting his nakedness out there after I've come inside his house when I was told to put his order at the door and walk away, but I decided to be nosy and look inside and see that and make myself the victim because even though he's sleeping in his own private abode that I was told to just leave alone and walk away from, I'm the victim.
This is a man's world! I'm the victim!
His life needs to be ruined. Only for the guy to wake up the next morning and realize that all over the internet are clips of him naked in his house, just all over the place. And if it had not been for the cameras, we don't know what would have happened. They would have just believed her and his life would have been ruined. And the interesting thing is, even though there was proof and video footage, there are still people out there somehow blaming this guy, saying that he knew and he wanted to do that. So that's why it's annoying that when I see articles like this, they're acting all shocked and everything, and people are making it a debate. Who exactly is debating this? Everyone should be praising this, especially now, with what could happen to men. Someone here said, people praising Henry Cavill for setting boundaries with Millie Bobby Brown is strange. Being professional with a minor on a film set like Enola Holmes isn't exceptional. It's literally the standard everyone should follow. Maybe it's strange for people in Hollywood because that's something they don't do. We've seen so many posts come out with how they talk to Justin Bieber and how they talk to other children right out there in the open, and it's completely allowed. They're literally thirsting over him or some other kids, and it's just these are grown people and they know what they're doing. It's not like, oh, you're such a handsome little lad, or oh, you and your girlfriend look cute together. It's literally directed at them. Notice all the people cheering and laughing in the background. I don't know how old he was here, but judging from how he looks, he probably was just a teenager. He probably wasn't even 18 yet. And you have a grown-ass woman necking him, straight up essaying him in front of everybody, and people are clapping and laughing. That is such weird behavior.
Wow! I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16.
Ew. 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 In front of everybody. Like, if people could do this in front of people, can you imagine? And it's funny because the same people who are screaming about, oh, this person I don't like, they're a PDF, they're a this, ugh, look, release the Epstein files. Every single one of them, you're probably on the island, bro. Have you seen how many of those people who scream the loudest about stuff like that, their names are also on it? No, I'm not saying, because I don't want to get sued or anything, that because they went on the plane means that they did something. Honestly, I don't even know what this freaking island fully is. I thought it was like some theme park or something where rich people go and they can afford all those really awesome rides. And then the stuff started coming out about what people were doing there. And I'm like, yeah, that would track. But every single one of them, did they all know about it? Or was it the filthy, filthy rich that had the backroom doors and then they did stuff? Because like, even in America, there's some underground things that happen here in certain establishments. Doesn't mean that everyone that goes to those establishments takes part in those things. But then again, I don't know. But when you have people out here acting like this out in broad daylight with everyone around them, there's a kid here and the adults are just around him like vultures, and this is completely okay. Nobody cares. No one finds this an issue. It's really concerning. And these freaking celebrities are hypocrites.
That was bad. Yeah. Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening?
Bro. What in the world? Gross. And look at this bitch back here laughing her ass off. What is so funny? Disgusting.
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
My parents never gave me the sex talk. Okay. So why don't you give me the sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Oh. Let's talk about the album.
Bro, that is embarrassing that he has to tell this woman that. These people are fucking nuts. That's why this is news to them. Ugh, what the actual fuck is going on?
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
And look, as someone who, I've been very vocal about it, who was also a victim of stuff by adults, several adults. Yes, people can be very overt with it. There are people who are covert with it that will start a friendship with you, a very close friendship. And it got really weird. Like there was one of these, I'll share this real quick. There was one of these situations where there was this Italian guy in Brooklyn, not gonna say it was, and he ran a pizzeria. And I used to go there, with my friends and stuff like that. And mind you, this man was like 40s, like he was old, right? And I'm like 12 or 11. And he always used to like flirt with me and stuff. And it was actually really uncomfortable. I was still smiling at him because I smile at everyone. Like that's just who I am. I smile, I say good morning, I say how are you, blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, hitting on me and stuff. Now, yes, I get it. Like for my age, I had really big breasts and stuff, but that's not an excuse. You knew I was a child. And it got to the point where I had to get my neighbor's friend's dad to come to the pizzeria with me. Now looking back at it probably looked very weird, but in my mind, I was like, oh, I'll just pretend this guy who looks nothing like me is my dad. So I call my actual dad Daddy. So I call this guy Daddy so that the guy, the Italian guy, the pizzeria guy wouldn't like start flirting with me in front of him because he thinks that probably this is my adopted father. Now looking back at it, now that I know better, he probably thinks that maybe that was like my sugar daddy or something. But I was a kid, like, so it doesn't even make any sense. I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize it. But he was giving us dirty stares the entire time where I was like, oh, daddy, I want that slice of pizza or a cheese one. And, you know, to let that guy know. And I was like, you know, hugging onto my friend's dad's arm because, you know, just I thought that was me like, hey, I need to sell that I'm actually his kid, or this is someone that I know so this guy doesn't try to do this to me in front of someone, you know? Do you know that this freaking pizzeria man says, come here, and pulls me aside near the back room where the restroom is, and he straight up gets mad to me. Now, I've never had any other interaction with the store owner past me being friendly as a fucking child. And he straight up tells me, what are you doing, huh? You know, are you trying to make me upset? You know, how do you think that makes me feel? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there because I don't know what to do. I'm staying there like about to cry because now this guy is like mad at me for, as a child, being with like just the audacity. That's the other thing. Like when I think about it, like back then, I was like, okay, I'm not going back to this place. If my friends want to go in there, I'm not going inside there. No, thank you. And then I'm just like, you know, my dumb ass was like, I'm sorry. Because like, what was I supposed to do, you know? And then he was like he was so angry. And the way he was looking at Robbie's dad, it was like, dude, I was so done. It's the audacity for me. So when I see this happening, I actually know, because I've been there. I've been held down by people and shit. Like, it is not fun. And that's why I'm vocal about it, because I need parents to know, hey, these are things that could happen. You could be the best parent ever and do everything that you're supposed to do, and shit still happens. But here are some things to watch out for. Question your kids constantly. Always talk to them, because I was going to take this to my grave until my ex-boyfriend basically, while we were sharing, because the same thing happened to him, called my mom at work to tell her it happened to me. And now I'm like, oh shit, now I have to tell my mom what happened and let her know that one of those people is one of her brothers. Do you know how fucking awkward that was, bro? And then she made me confront my uncle. Like, this shit was just really wild. So I feel it. I really feel it for the children in Hollywood, because it feels like no one is looking out for them whatsoever. And I just think about things like in Justin Bieber's case or other kids in Hollywood's case. Just consider this for a moment, that I had a very good support structure and people who loved me and a family who loved me, an awesome dad. And my mom was in the States at the time, but I had people around me, women in my life, that did what they could to protect me. And even with all of that, all those things still happened to me. How much more do you think is happening when nobody's looking out for these kids right in the nest of these freaking vampires in Hollywood? And so when you see an article like this and them getting all like, oh my God, he set boundaries. It's like, it reads like it never computed to them to do the same. Weird behavior. Someone else says, the bar for Hollywood professionalism is so low that acting like a normal adult around a teenager is newsworthy, right? Cavill set boundaries and the industry treats it like he invented fire. Yes, exactly. Wow. What I'm more even shocked at is that they're even sharing this. Because you would think they would have the self-awareness to be like, yeah, this is gonna make us look bad if we would. No, they had no self-awareness. None whatsoever. Like, what do you need boundaries in place? Exactly. And the thing is, he everything that Henry Cavill's done that I've seen so far, he's been a stand-up person. And he cares about the source material in The Witcher. They flop him. They're like, no. He is a good person. They find some way to shit on him or not cast him for roles. Or just like, it's like you get punished for being a good person in Hollywood. The shittier you are, is the more people look up to you. Look at Pascal and how he is with people. And now it's like, yes. But it's funny because I think they're turning on him because I think he came out as gay or whatever, didn't come out as gay, whatever. I feel like some of that is performative because of all the backlash he was getting with how he was being handsy with women. And so he was like, oh, well, I'll just show people I'm with the guy. So, hey, it's okay if I touch your crotch, right? You know. But anyway, that's how he talks to unattractive women in general. That's messed up. What? Bro, oh no, stop it. But yeah, I don't know, it's wild to me. And I'm wondering, like, okay, these comments are good so far. Why is it, what women are angry about this? Someone said, I thought he had to lay down the rules because she was overly friendly. Meanwhile, Drake, it's kind of sad that it's breaking news whenever a popular actor is an ASO or an offender. People are getting bizarrely angry and vindictive over about this report of a man behaving. Who is getting, what? Who? What in the world is happening? I'm still trying to find where people are getting upset about this. Look at this article. This says we're stranger things kids. It's different. There's no boundaries because it feels like we're all siblings. Really? Even if you feel like you're all siblings, there are supposed to still be boundaries. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like she never learned what those were and she had to, that's very sad. He's very strict with me, which I appreciate, which means she probably never got that from her parents or whoever was responsible for raising her. Oh shoot, Disparu, look at that. You're in an article, that's so cool. Disparu says, strange that keeping their relationship strictly professional with a child is so unusual in Hollywood that it's worthy of an interview anecdote. Exactly. Like I was saying earlier, these people, that's their default. Like, I wouldn't put it past the rumors being true about them eating children, because they basically do that in different ways, if you know what I mean, or have the children eat them. It's really freaking disgusting. And the way that they're so blatantly conspicuous about it, it's like they have no freaking shame. And then they have the nerve to try and label other people that they don't like that are not doing those things as the very thing that they are. And the thing is, even if that person that they don't like is doing those things, who are you to talk? Who are you to speak? I was today years old when I found out that you can click on something called quotes to see who reshared and said something about the post. I'm so dumb. Okay, so now the first thing that's up here, bro. Now I understand. Now I get it. Now I get where this outrage is coming from. Now I can completely be misconstruing what this person is saying. But this poster said her not being able to spot when adult men have said something really weird to her is so peak for them because she talks about it in interviews like it's fine and cute. And then everyone else who sees it, it's like, what the actual fuck? This and the Drake thing. What does this even mean? What is this word salad? The person said, can't believe this got any traction at all. But everyone seems to not already know that he's already dated a teenager when he was in his 30s and was forced to apologize for that weird RAPE comment he made during the Me Too movement. In context, we understand why he made it. Let's not pretend we don't know what's happening. So from what I see, he dated a 19-year-old and he was 32 at the time. Coming from a woman who also likes older men and is with someone who has a big age gap with me, when we're adults, we're expected to be all like, yes, empowerment, we're women, let us choose, until you don't agree with said choices. And then all of a sudden it's women, other women, having the nerve to come out and be all like, you're just a baby. You're like practically in the womb. Girl, you're a victim and you don't even know it. Bitch, choose a lane. Choose a lane. You cannot be on one hand saying we're women, we should be treated as adults, given the same pay, given the same respect and honored for our intellect, but then also in the next breath, putting down all of us by saying that if we choose to be with older men, oh my God, we were victims. We don't know what we're doing at age 19 when we're legally adults. Like, be so for real right now. These people are insane. Now I understand what they were talking about with the backlash. Oh Lord, okay. Look, you know when you have to go to someone's profile to see if it's a troll account? No, I think she's legitless batshit crazy or something. So Luke responded and said, so now we're at the point where guys are being criticized for actively not being a nonce. I agree, right? Because the commenter is trying to flip this into something creepy and imply that a man setting boundaries is suspicious. But if he doesn't set boundaries, that's also suspicious. Bitch, what are you on? You're trying so hard to be holier than thou. It's really making me wonder what you're about. Because for you to project this freaking loudly means that must be the lens you see through the world, so you probably are a creep yourself. Then she says, except he is a nonce and had made weird, you could see the word, I don't want you two to flag me, jokes after the Me Too movement. All of this changes the context of his comment. He already has a history of dating teenagers, so it looks sus. He dated a 19-year-old. 18 is the legal age of consent. While you could say that's weird or not, it is the legal age of consent. If you so wanted to, ma'am, you, if you were 18, which I know you're not, would be able to be like, yes, I can do what I want now. I can vote. I can do this, even though it's a little bit weird in this country because 21 years old is when you can do certain other things, but yet 18. So which is it? You know, I think they should choose an age and stick to it. But if all of society had said when you're 18, you can consent and make these decisions, what is the actual problem? What is the actual problem? The woman he dated was 19 and she wasn't a fucking 15-year-old. And I'm sorry, this whole thing with this culture in this country is just really fucking weird because you'll have people who were like really close since they were kids, right? They literally grew up together and the guy is an age older, a year older than the woman. He's like 16, she's 15. And then all of a sudden he turns 18 first and she's taking like her 6 months to turn 18. She's 17. They've been together since they were little or whatever. They've been dating since they were in high school or what have you. And all of a sudden, you're a creep because you're 18, you're dating a 17-year-old. Be so fucking for real. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. People in America, man. I'm sorry. Not everyone in America, but these people. I mean, she probably isn't even in America. She's probably from Britain for all I know. But bro, be so for real. It's like you're looking for a way to be outraged. People will choose the most minuscule things to be outraged about. Like, at least if you're going to be outraged about something, make it entertaining. Make it some dumb movie or something, because at least you know, okay, it's made to outrage people. But seriously, but you know what? Let us help her out and look at the comment specifically that she's talking about with what he said about the Me Too movement. Here is the comment, which I did read ahead of time. And honestly, I don't see what's wrong with this. But today, where nobody's dating everyone and the birth rates are declining and women are somehow allergic to men just being their natural selves while also praising that behavior in other mammals, I mean, come on. The headline says, Henry Cavill worries the hashtag #MeToo is preventing men from wooing women out of fear of being called a ray of sunshine. We'll just put it that way. You can see the word there. Don't want to get flagged. I hate censoring, but it is what it is. But the actor can't help but wonder if the Me Too anti-harassment movement is making that kind of behavior no longer acceptable because he's an old-fashioned guy who loves when a man chases after a woman to win her heart. Cavill explained that despite the fact stuff has to change in the industry when it comes to SH, good things should also be retained. He says there's something wonderful about a man chasing a woman. There's a traditional approach to that, which is nice. I think a woman should be wooed and chased, but maybe I'm old-fashioned for thinking that. It's very difficult to do that if there aren't certain rules in place. He continued by saying there's a risk about Me Too leading men to believe, well, I don't want to go up and talk to that woman because I'm going to be called a ray of sunshine or something. So you're like, forget it. I'm going to go call an ex-girlfriend instead and then just go back to a relationship which never really worked. But it's way safer than casting myself into the fires of hell because I'm someone in the public eye, and if I go and flirt with someone, then who knows what's going to happen. Cavill said men really can't pursue someone in the era of Me Too era after they've been told no. But then there's the, oh, why'd you give up? He said. And it's like, well, because I didn't want to go to jail. Now understand this. This is what I know from people who are watching, they're going to be like, well, look what he said about no. You don't understand women. And I will prove it to you because there's been so many videos that I've watched on TikTok or Instagram where women will freaking go nuts and wonder why a guy gave up in pursuing them. Exhibit A.
There is nothing more annoying than when you reject a guy and he's so rude and cold to you after. Like, what do you mean? Like, okay, one, play the long game. Who knows? Maybe it could be something later, maybe just not right now. And two, why are you being an asshole? Like, just because we're not a good fit doesn't mean you have to be an asshole.
Exhibit B.
One of the first tests that we give men is to see if he'll chase us. There's a million fish in the sea, so we want to know if we're the fish worth catching. But the question is, do we respect men who chase us? No. We don't respect it. We love it. We love men who chase us. It makes us feel attractive. It makes us feel beautiful. It makes us feel like, you know, the only fish in the sea.
You can finish watching the video that Kira put up there. Anyway, Exhibit C.
So I just found out the boy who likes me, who I don't like back, is finally moving on from me because I rejected him. Maybe I was kidding. Maybe I do like you now. I'm not liking someone else.
Exhibit Z.
Have a little girl talk, okay? If you like a guy, the absolute best thing you can do is friend zone him. I am so dead serious about this. But Nikki, I don't want to put him in the friend zone because I really like him. I understand. But the problem with liking someone is that you give them too much credit before they even prove themselves to you. And also, you don't actually really get to know them. You just like this idea of them in your head. But if you friend zone them, then you're actually getting to know the person and see if you really like them. And you get to see if they're persistent enough to try to get out of the friend zone. I wish I knew that sooner because I feel like I would have been less weirder on my crushes if I just friend zoned them.
Now, the actual video that I was looking for was this woman who went on this date and she said she didn't feel a spark. I can't remember if she told the guy that or she was just telling the audience that. It was such a long time ago. I can't find it, got buried. But then the guy said, I understand, and moved on. And then she put up that video on TikTok acting all like, but no, why did he give up? You're supposed to keep trying. Like, I can be convinced. No kidding. Like, she literally said those words at the end. I can be convinced. After she already told the guy, she doesn't feel like there's a spark from him and, you know, she's not interested. So the guy just walked away. But most women, the reason why men used to chase is because women biologically like that. They want to see if the guy is into them. Of course, you see other mammals. They will look at two men competing and a man will constantly, ew. And if a man is consistent to see if she's like valuable enough or she wants to feel like she's valuable, you know? I'm not saying it's okay to put people in the friend zone because I don't play those kinds of games. I think if someone is doing that, I would usually tell like my male friends or my brothers, yeah, get out of there. Get out of there. No one has time for that nonsense because you don't even know if she's serious about you or not. If she's interested, she should show you some instance of interest. But yes, that's how most humans do it. And when I say chase, I don't mean you're flying down a dark alley with your hands outstretched trying to grab the neck of some woman. We know what they mean. We know what Henry Cavill meant. So when this woman started talking about, oh, his comments were inappropriate, it's suspicious because of his comments. You need to be more honest because there is nuance and it seems as though this poster is incapable of picking up what that even is. I can guess that she doesn't have a very healthy relationship if she even is in one, or she's very miserable, or at the very least is making the person that she's with, if she's even with anyone who would stay long enough around her, miserable. But they just don't say anything. Someone else says, oh, so now we want a 15-year-old girl to engage with a 40-year-old dude. He was literally protecting her. Like, make up your minds about inappropriate relationships. Someone said the only reason people think this is weird is because they already don't like Henry Cavill. If this was Pedro Pascal, y'all would eat it up. Exactly. Instead of people taking the opportunity to even say, you know what, I don't like the guy, but good. More people should be setting up boundaries like this. For them to stoop to the lowest rung in the pole, to find something to be outraged about, instead of saying, yes, more girls should adopt this and look for this, regardless of what you think you know about the person or not. It is still the appropriate response for that environment. But no, you had to put your own creepy spin on it. I hope she gave that same energy to Drake. This person says normal adults don't need to adopt terms and conditions to have a healthy boundaries with a child. If it's with a child you don't know in an age where people are going to jail based on hearsay, yes, you do, to protect yourself and that person. And the really horrible part about it is that Millie could have come out and said and lied. And straight up said, you know what? I don't like that he put boundaries in place. I'm gonna lie and said that he did something he didn't do. And the entire internet, without any proof whatsoever, would have just run with it. Unless there's like concrete evidence. That's the terrifying part about all of this. Someone says, if I say what this looks like to me, especially with the rumors about this man, what are the rumors? That he dated a 19-year-old? Half of the other people that you like have done the same and you're not saying jack about them. And she was still of age. What is the problem? There's the Sparrow's comment. Thank you. Q Anthony Ali says, the negative response to this tweet is jarring because it's generally a best practice in vocations that involve working with children to set professional boundaries with kids and to be firm about them. Exactly. And I'm not even gonna say it should just be with the kids. It should be with adults too. There's certain boundaries you should set in place with your fellow adult co-stars. I don't know why this is newsworthy. It's so crazy. This world is weird. And here's this 301, whatever, saying trying to be overly strict to distract from the allegations, but it just makes you seem more suspicious. Fat girl who likes to talk a lot based on what you said, literally what she says. So you would want him, and the only allegations I have seen is that he dated an adult who was 19. What allegations are we talking about here? Are you trying to distract from your allegations? Like, I mean, what the hell is actually going on here? Would you have rathered him not do that? It's like he's damned if he does or not. It's hilarious that Cavill dipped on her when she tried to get with him a few years ago. What? The feminists have found this tweet and are trying to find a way to make it weird, and this is why I hate them. Someone says every time you hear something about Henry Cavill, he just seems even better and more based than previously thought possible. Wait, Undoomed said that. Will Rose says a lot of people have strong feelings about this, but I kind of get it. When I worked in restaurants, I was kind and professional with the kids I worked with, but we were not friends and we aren't hanging out off the clock ever. Exactly. Especially as a dude. Like, I think women get away with that a lot more often. Like, I was a babysitter a lot of the times, and the same way that I raised my brothers and my siblings and my cousins and stuff, I always adopt everyone's kids. They are, if I'm giving my brothers a toy or something that makes them really happy, I'm gonna do the same thing with the other kid. I'm not gonna be like, well, you're not my relative, so I'm just gonna treat you differently. No, to the point where the mothers and the dads are like, hey, Allie, could you come over and babysit because they keep asking about you and blah, blah, blah. And I absolutely adore children. They're so adorable. And I love their imaginations because we have kind of the same imaginations. We'll go on adventures, play Nerf guns, all of that. And at the end, guess what? I'm so happy because I'm like, yes, I get to go home because those are not my kids. Yay. And I still have to go home and take care of my siblings, but still, as someone who is choosing not to have children, I'm happy with my choice. Doesn't mean I hate children at all. Like, people get this misconception. However, in every single one of those cases, there are certain lines that are not crossed. Like, even if they met me with my boyfriend, oh, it's your boyfriend, you kiss, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, anyway, you know, and I would distract because I'm not going to get into certain things with kids that are not appropriate. Like, I'm not going to be like, yes, guys, I tongue my boyfriend and I do all this. No, you still have to be professional. You still have to be respectful. And even with like little siblings and stuff, there's certain things that you know as either an older child or an adult that maybe your little brothers and sisters know, but you're not gonna go sharing that with them because they're kids. They're real human little kids that are very impressionable. You have to protect them. So I understand why professionals do this. And even more so, you know how easy it is, especially if you're in the public eye, for just one wrong word that you say. Like, I know every YouTuber, every person who has ever been on the internet has probably gone through that, where one thing they say, or someone not even caring, you'll say one sentence and they don't even listen to the rest of the sentence. They look at the first letter of the sentence and judge you based on that. Look at this freaking dumbass bitch. Oh, he's a weirdo. Huh? Oh my God. Okay, I think it's time to end this video because I swear to God, these people need their heads clapped off their bodies sometimes. I don't mean that in a freaking murderous way. I mean, like, if they were Legos, pop it off and put it back on and clap it off again. Screw it on correctly because clearly it's not on straight. Unless you're trying to rage bait people, because I cannot understand in any other way why someone would come to this conclusion as a result of him. Unless you're probably checking for him and you're mad that I don't even know. I can't even really interesting. Unless I'm missing something. The only thing I've seen, which is a allegation, if that's even a thing, is that he dated a 19-year-old and she was a minor. What is the problem? Seeing people out there on OnlyFans selling your bodies and then having the nerve to point fingers at people. Seeing people are out there who are like the Hollywood elites, freaking going up to little people and biting their ears and shit and doing things in front of your own children to put on TikTok that you shouldn't be doing. Same people, by the way. I'm not saying any of these specific people I've shown, but I've seen a lot of posters on different platforms where literally 2 posts prior, they completely contradict themselves with the behavior that they show in real life. Like, it's just really crazy to me. But anyways, good for him and good for her.
I moved on, I got a chick, she's bad.